Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good today.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. How was your day yesterday?
My day yesterday was good. Felt semi-productive.
Semi-productive. That's how mine felt. I had a really good productive set, and then I didn't. So, I got a good chunk of stuff done very quickly yesterday. And then I think there was a little bit of head game where, oh gosh, I'm way ahead. Like I finished stuff ahead of schedule. And
Good morning, Levi.
Hello, Levi.
So I'm trying to work on this one project, and I get to this one part to where I'm like, I can't do this, but it's gonna take a lot of time. Let's give it to someone else on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I do the same thing that everybody else does, right? Like I know that this is annoying to like every person who works with another client, right? To where like not a big deal, and now my focus is on it. Like, hey, like where are you at? Right?
Yeah.
So that was me yesterday. I was like, hey, you want to work on this? And then was kind of waiting, and then do I work on it? Do I wait? Stuff like that. So I don't know. We're cleaning up lots of things and starting to use ClickUp for our project management, which has been delightful so far.
Good. That's awesome. We're still doing the teamwork thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it works. It's good. It's fun. Look at that. Everybody.
Look at that. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Michelle. The thing that I like about ClickUp so far, the thing that I like the most is that there's a desktop app, so I don't have to do it in Chrome. So then it's not just like all these tabs that are just gonna, hey, come look at me, kind of thing. Like I was thinking about this morning. You remember as kids, when you see some kind of scene of the person and they've only got one job to do, but they just keep getting distracted by little things, and we watch it. We're like, God, like just do the thing, just focus.
Mm-hmm.
That's like what most life feels like now.
Yeah, that's tabs for sure.
What was I working on? Oh yeah, that's what I was working on.
Yeah.
What was I working on? Same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's Google tabs or Firefox or wherever you're at Safari.
Yeah.
They're just always up there looking at you.
Yeah, exactly right. And they all want to send you notifications and sounds and alerts, and no,
it's always mine.
Yeah, no.
And see, actually, that's one of the reasons I hadn't switched to desktop on a lot of those things, is because we want to send you desktop apps, and I get more reminders to, hey, you need to set desktop app or desktop notifications when you have a desktop app versus a window. They'll remind you, but not near as often. So it's been super. I did for a while use Slack when I was heavy into Slack, like all day. I definitely had the desktop app, but now I just use it in the browser.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not like, I don't live in Slack. Like I use Slack 3 to 4 times a week based on project and stuff. Okay. So yeah, otherwise
we have much different use cases for Slack.
Yeah. I used to have yours. I used to be in it half the day with my team.
Yeah. I like desktop apps a lot more than I like using web apps, because what I have found is that if you go in there and you play with some settings, that pop-up box goes away. They want you to pick some settings, just that you know where it is, right? Because that's better for like onboarding. Hey, like let's show you where this is, right?
Okay.
Good onboarding is like super crucial for like SaaS companies, because if you're not forcing them to take action, then they don't play with it, and then they get frustrated, and then they realize, like, well, why am I even paying for this thing? I'm not even using it.
Right. Yeah.
So
that is such a tough hump too, the free trial thing, because everyone wants a free trial, but when you get in there, if you don't mess with it, then you forget about it, and your expiration comes up. You're like, oh, I didn't even mess with it. I'm gonna.
Yeah. No, I'm really on the fence about the idea of like a free trial, right? Because a trial's like, hey, try this and see if you like it, right? Like you're putting yourself out there in a way. I don't like.
It's a volume play for sure.
It definitely is a volume play for sure. But the other thing to consider, right, for all of our marketing friends out there, every one of these companies has a sales team. Every freaking one of
Oh,
them. They're not just sitting there waiting for people to like click on their ad and like come in and like just stumble around. They have people who are going after it at like a small, an intermediate, and a large format. So you can't just market your way to the levels that you're looking for, right? And especially not in the beginning. You have to have someone having those conversations, and that's a salesperson. And if you put someone in there who cannot get the reason behind the no, you can't improve your marketing ever. You're just guessing because you have no feedback from your clients.
Yeah, so your project better be like fantastic in that free trial where the salesperson just lays down and takes your money. You know, like from a SaaS, I think for SaaS, there's still a good use case for it because I don't want to go get on your 60-minute call where you show me through the platform. I'm not interested in those types of calls most of the time because a lot of the stuff that I go through is not nice to have. Like, I want to go check it out. That'd be cool. Maybe if you woo me, I'll find some money in my budget.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have no CRM and I need to go get a CRM because my sales needs help, I'll sit down on a 60-minute call and we'll work through use cases, and because that's something I need and I'm gonna pay for somewhere. But all the rest of those, I think that's where free trials become helpful. And I'm like that timeshare guy. Like, I'll go sit in your timeshare and listen to your pitch and walk away and take your free timeshare time. So I'm good with getting all those emails of how's it going? Have you tried this? You want to set up a call?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yes, I think that comes back to like, what is the intention of your product, right? Because if you're like, hey, try this and see if it helps you, right?
Yeah.
You're not really doing like a great job of setting yourself up as like, hey, like we are the must-have app in the business space because just try it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, yeah, that doesn't compute. But that's really interesting though. The whole, because of course they want a demo.
Yeah.
Right. You know, well, would you like to take a look at the software? Yeah. That's not a buying indicator. That's a terrible question. Of course they want to see it. That's why they're on the call in the first place.
It's like clicking through your website. Of course they're clicking through your website.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the same exact video that's on the homepage that shows the exact demo that you're about to give to this person. Did you start there? Why do you even think you need this?
Right.
And then you get into it, and then you get to hear like the things that they're really interested in, and then you show them those things. Right. Or you say, hey, we can do A and C, but B is going to be a problem. How should we handle that?
So I actually got onboarded for a specialty CRM. They're all specialty CRMs, but this one was tied in with, and gosh, I'm not gonna remember the name. But they were tied into an auto texting company, like, you know, where you generate text based on decisions they make on your website and different things like that. And they led with that, like on their homepage. They're like, we're the only CRM that is tied into so-and-so and does X. I was like, oh, interesting. I'll check that out. Then I go into the CRM and their communication led with that. And they made it so cool because you could onboard like 5 clients or 10 clients. And then they would actually show you it in motion with your client without actually doing it. But they would say, here's how easy it is to onboard. So like they kept that message the whole way through versus, hey, we do this well. And then here's the CRM. So that's one of the few times I feel like they did what you're talking about, or a company actually took one line of thought and it mattered to me, and then they kept that the whole time. Because that's a good way to create a sales conversation that's going to go somewhere, I think.
Well, I mean, that's when you can have the conversation, that niching is important, right? And these people have apparently a really great view of who they are and why people use them and stuff like this.
Right.
And like in sales, it's so funny. I had this epiphany yesterday. This guy in my DMs, right? I'm doing a better job of sitting in my DMs now and like actively kind of going through them. And it's interesting, right? Because like every no, I'm like, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it, right? And there's something to like owning your no's, accepting them as opposed to just like, man, you know. And a lot of people who are doing like software plays in the DMs, you know, they're getting hundreds of no's and they're never sitting through them. So like, how are you really improving? Like how, like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this one person got frustrated with me because they were like, I said something, I told a message or a story about Dan, just like a quick little thing. And then, hey, it's worth a conversation. Right. And so in the story about Dan, I talk about how Dan didn't want to be salesy, didn't want to do anything, but was just really particular about the people he worked with. He just needed the questions to ask, and now he's done this and this and this. Would a chat about doing something like that make sense? And he goes, man, lay off. You're not going to, what did he say? You don't come across as confident when you're trying to tell me to not be salesy while you're being salesy. And I was like, man, thank you so much for letting me know. I appreciate this. I'm going to take you off the list. First thing I'm going to tell you is that anybody else's version of salesy is not really your concern or my concern, as this case may be. Because like that's the heart of it, right? If you're fired up about the thing that you do and you know that you're only like looking for very specific people to do that thing, why would you have a problem going and asking people if they're part of that group? I'm not even asking you if you want this thing. I'm just asking you if you're part of this group of people who normally like this thing.
Right. Because
then it makes sense for me to like try to talk to you to see if I can qualify you and stuff. But if you haven't drawn the circle yet, you're trying to sell to everybody.
Yeah.
That makes you the best.
Those walls were way high up. If that
for sure. Yeah.
Gets you fired
absolutely.
Up, like, oh, thank you so much. I didn't have to waste time with you. This is awesome.
Well, and I've learned this about myself as well. Right. Because I'm trying to drink my own Kool-Aid of like constantly drawing the circle smaller, right? Because when you know who you're supposed to be talking to and you're only talking time to or spending time with those people, then every conversation has value.
Yeah.
Right. Like some people just don't like to network, right? Because they don't know who they should be talking to. I really enjoy talking to people who are working on cool things in their business. Am I also listening for things that might indicate that there's room for us to work together? Sure. But I'm not trying to force any of that to happen. And I am genuinely interested, and I'll probably send you a couple of introductions or referrals.
Yeah.
It's probably worth the cost of admission, I would say. But I love that so much. I don't have a problem asking, right? But the thing that I've learned over the past 2 weeks is like, and you know this, but you don't really realize it in the moment. It's like some people just don't network.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to talk non-networkers into networking. That's ridiculous, right? So now my circle is smaller. Now it's not just people who want to improve in sales, not just agency owners. It's not even smaller agency owners. It is small agency owners who like to network. So if you're a small agency owner who likes to network and likes connections, I would love to chat with you.
Right.
And so now it's just a little bit better. And now I'm even more fired up because now that I know that, right? And this makes sense. It makes absolute sense. But like in the moment, you're like, is there a way in here? Mm-hmm. Is there a way to get past this wall? No, there's no way to get past that wall, because even if you get past that wall and you get on the networking call, they're going to have their walls up. They're not going to share anything with you. And it's a waste of your time.
Right. Next wall.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't need to sell you on the fact that you need to network with me, right? Because if I have to sell you on that, everything else after that is going to be like a pretty hard sell, and nobody wants that either way. So you have your walls up, fine, totally fine. I don't want to network with you anyway.
Right. That's actually where I think content plays a really crucial role for salespeople. Is if you have a networking conversation, not a sales conversation, a networking conversation, and you have a nice connection, and then they go check out your profile, and you have some good content there, really digging into the stuff that you do and care about, all of a sudden your connection has deepened without you even being there.
Yep.
That's so powerful. And that's where you and I have talked about in the past, the sales marketing handoff. That's right there is a crucial spot. So that's why you can't just willy-nilly just throw out a bunch of content.
You cannot.
6 content deep and it doesn't do anything to deepen that relationship you just had, you've wasted that content likely.
Yeah.
Or at least for its best purpose.
Well, I mean, you have during the small talk, you have to find something you want to small talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And if I'm talking to a marketing agency owner who likes to network, I've already got like 3 things that are just epically easy to handle and have a conversation about in like a chatty kind of way. Because I'm genuinely interested. It's not fake.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, oh, you're from Chicago, I'm from Chicago, and then you go look up their like LinkedIn profile and like no Chicago exposure at all. You know, you can't fake it, right? It has to be legit, and you got to be actually interested, or else it just comes off as awesome. So anyway,
well, that's the beauty of having a niche. Also, I think is because you have real current experience with real clients in real situations that become that instantaneous, like real chatty, like, haha, I know last week I was talking to this lady and
Absolutely.
she did this thing, and that's hilarious. And you don't have to even think of them; they just come to you because they're recent and they're real.
Yeah.
Totally.
Or you can craft them very deliberately, which is what I try to do.
You can take good stories and rework them over and over and over.
Yep.
Which is, I think I said this before. My dad always said, "Don't get new jokes, get a new audience."
That's true.
Once you craft that joke, it's a good joke.
That's the whole key to my sales philosophy right there, right? Like I mean, I'm gonna have to put your dad's name on the cover of this book, I think, at this point, because he just summed it up right there, right? Like everyone else is just, telling that or showing that same magic trick or telling that same trick to the same person over and over and over and over and over. No, go find a new audience. Go fish where it's easy.
That is marketing and sales. Find a new audience. Find the next one. Find the next one. Keep crafting. Yeah. Well, you know what day it is?
It's Wednesday. It's the last Wednesday. This is the last time that I'm going to forget that you have to go at 8:01.
In this format.
In this format, yeah.
So
we're not exactly sure what kind of flavor our accountability cadence is going to look like after this call. So
we shall see.
I'm curious though, right? Other than Michelle, because she has already said this, right? If you have been watching the show, how have your thoughts changed about accountability, if they have at all? Like, are you more open to it now, right? Because accountability is one of those things that everyone's like, I want some accountability. Okay, great. When will that be done? Well, don't ask me that, man. I don't know.
No.
We instantly flinch away from it, right? So you have to be able. I was talking about this with Dan yesterday. I was like, you kind of need accountability from someone who can give you crap and like it doesn't make you mad, right? It just makes you want to be better.
Yeah, it's got to be clinical. There has to be, like, it's funny that there needs to be a bedside manner, but it doesn't need to be the focus on the bedside manner. Like a doctor, right? He needs it, but the focus needs to be on diagnosis. And so, the saying that I like is accountability works when it's invited. That's when it works best.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So if you want it, it works. If you don't want it, probably won't work.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like unsolicited advice.
Yep.
Nobody wants that either.
No. All right.
And you're not wearing any green, it appears. So inches.
Okay, you got me. That's the first one of the day. I'm gonna go get some green on before I go because I'm going
because
where kids are. So I will.
You're going where kids are, and I'm wearing free hugs.
And that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the one I'm going to. So that's perfect. And I didn't even know you were wearing it.
Yep, that's right.
Awesome.
All right.
I got to run, and man, thanks for the. There was 5 at the peak. I saw 5 people in here. Another lurker.
Nice lurker. All right. Well, you have 2 more days to lurk, so we are wrapping it up and calling it good on this. So lurk, and then come hang out in another format, email probably, because we're not stopping. We're just not doing it live everywhere. So
yeah, we're still around. So. We'll definitely give links on Friday of places you can come find us.
Yes, lots of links, so that way you'll take no action trying to decide which one to go to.
How about one? There you go.
There we go.
All right. See you, Bill. See you guys, everybody.
See you, Bill. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.